Hello there, crafty friends. It's Eileen Godwin here. I've had a few requests to share with you how I made this card. And that isn't a hardship to show you because it was great fun to do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So here I am, and away we go. I've taken a piece of, in fact, a couple of pieces, A3 pieces of Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth cardstock in ivory. Any super smooth cardstock will do. It's quite a large card, as you can see. So the base card that I've made 10-fold is 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. It was an A3 sheet of ivory cardstock, folded and cut. The first layer there onto the base card is 18 centimetres by 18 centimetres, and the topper itself here with all of the beautiful stamps on is 16 by 16 centimetres. So 16, 16, 18, 18 and 20 by 20 for the base card, all in the ivory cardstock. And in the scheme of things, here's one, a topper anyway, that I prepared earlier. Popping that down. And the first thing that I'm using is one of these sticker stencil sets from Lavinia Stamps. And this is the Nature and Nurture collection. You get a couple of birds, a heart and an oak leaf here. So I'm using the heart, and I'm just popping it down more or less in the middle of the cardstock, as central as you can get it, but don't be too worried about it. Around about there. Then I need a little bit of stencil tape just to protect this area here, to hold it down and make sure that it's okay. I don't want the stencil brush going and dusting too much and going outside the heart area. I'm using a Lavinia Stamps stencil brush, and the inks I'm using are distressing colours in Archival inks. So this is Wild Honey in an Archival ink, and this is Salvaged Patina in a Archival ink. Starting with that one first. I love the transparent properties of Archivals. They are a dye ink in an oil base. So once they're dry, they're totally waterproof. So as you can see, I'm paying a lot of attention from looking, I'm just looking into the camera to see if you can see me okay. I'm paying a lot of attention over to the heart on the left-hand side, and then releasing the pressure on the brush as I move over gently to a fade-out look on the right. I'm going to add a little bit more ink there. But hardly any pressure on the head of the brush. I'm just skimming across the surface. And now, much more pressure on the brush as I fill in a little bit of that inky colour over on the left again. That should do. Lift up, let's have a look. Yeah, that's good. The next thing I'm using is a proper stencil from Lavinia Stamps, but it is a small one. And this is called the Tall Leaf Mask. Okay, so this one I'm going to pop down, and I'm just trying to see where I had this in the original. It was sort of at an angle over on the right hand side, and it came down like that, I think. round about there. I'm going to just pop a little bit of tape down to hold it. This is Sweet Poppy Stencil tape, so it doesn't ruin the card. Like that. And again, I don't want this to be too intrusive, so I'm using another brush from Lavinia Stamps, stencil brush. And this is Wild Honey, again in the Archival Distress Ink colour range. And just very gently, with hardly any pressure on the head of the brush, flicking up from the bottom, get a few of these larger circles and putting more ink in the middle and then fading away again on the outside. A bit more up there. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's good. So I'm happy with that. I'll wipe off my stencil. Now, because Archivals are waterproof, you can't wash it off. So you can use a hand sanitizer to clean your stencils, or isopropyl alcohol, which is what I will use. The next thing to do on this is to pop the heart down, the main, or one of the main features. And that is a stamp. Beautiful stamp, look at that. There's two sizes in this, large heart, and I think the other one is a small heart. This is the large heart, and I'm going to use my Misty for this because I want to make sure that it's stamped so that you can see it in all its glory. Pop that in there. And I'm going to line up the point of the heart into the point of the heart of the sticker stencil, like so. That should do. Pick it up. I'm using Versafine Clear ink. I'm using two on this heart, Shady Lane and Twilight. Shady Lane is first, gorgeous green, use it a lot. Gentle tapping. Gorgeous. Leaving the stamp in place, Twilight is next, and I want the Twilight to be on this part of the stamp of my image, so I've got to make sure that I do the opposite when I ink up. So when it goes over, it will stamp this side. I'm going into detail because, trust me, I've done it so often where I've not really been paying attention to myself and it was wrong. So I'm telling myself more than you, that's what I'm saying. Ink the right side, Eileen. We've got a nice two-tone now. Lovely. Beautiful images. Next, I would like to do the background and keeping the Twilight blue in place. I have this stamp called Sacred Spells. It's a beautiful font, a gorgeous stamp for the background that I'm using. It's text, obviously, but the font is lovely. I use it a lot. Sacred Spells, again, Lavinia Stamps. Stamping Up in Twilight. I'm standing up because I just want to take off some of the ink and then going over to the stamp over on the left hand side to the image, to the card, pressing down quite firmly and then bringing it, oh dear, now that came off the block because it wasn't wet enough on the back obviously, and I've just about saved that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't you hate it when that happens? Mind you, I've got a trusty eraser. I could have probably have saved it if it had really been bad, but I don't think it's too bad. Right. So popping that down again, but this time I've got to remember, I've inked up that I've got to take off 2 lots. 2 went on the card, and then this is the 3rd generation, and it's coming down here. Try and keep it straight if you can, because quite frankly, although it's not easy to read because it would be quite faded, people will know if the stamp is not straight, and your eye will go straight to that. And I'm quite pleased with that. In fact, it looks better on this sample that I'm doing than the original, that background stamping, so I'm pleased with that. Next, and that is the beautiful caps. I don't know if they're toadstool or mushrooms. Let's have a look. What does it say on that? Tulle leaf mask. They are moss cap cluster, so neither a moss cap cluster. I think they're more toadstools than mushrooms, to be honest. But what do I know? Right. So I'm just going to get my stamp press for this. Again, my Misty. Popping it in. Now this top cap of the toadstool, I want that to be just under that side. And would you believe it? That is the postman. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. So, where was I? Yes. So this is the moss cap cluster. And I'm just popping that in so that the top of the cap is just inside this heart of the sticker stencil. It's not critical, but it's a guide because I like the look of how I made the original card. So I want to stick with that as much as I can. Okay, that'll do. Is it straight down? And another one that isn't sticking, that's because I need to wet the backs again. They just need a quick wash under the tap. Warm water, that will bring the stickiness back. I'm using a damp cloth at the moment. Round about there, I think. A bit more maybe. Would help if I put my glasses on, wouldn't it? Right, hopefully that's it. Let's have a look. Oh, I think that I'm there. Versafine Clear Nocturne. Gentle. Now, when I did this first time round, made the card, you will see what I will see here. It looks really messy. It looks, you can't see anything clearly of the mushroom or toadstool stamp. So that's why I decided to colour them in, and it worked out a treat. But at the moment, they just sink into the background, don't they? And it looks a bit busy. So that's 3 lots that I've given there. That can come out. Just going to blot it because there's a lot of ink on that. Yeah, come back to those in a minute. Right, I'm just going to do the last of the stamping, and this is Art from the Heart. Now, the Art from the Heart is, again, another Lavinia stamp, and it should look like this. Yeah, so it's one long line. Well, it isn't because I've cut mine up, because I wanted to have Art From and then the heart underneath it, which you'll see in the original card, and that was the only way I could really achieve it that was easy. And I do not mind cutting my stamps up. They are tools to be used. I don't want to destroy them. I want to be able to use them in the original form, and I can still put this back together if I want to. And if I stamped it, you wouldn't know it had been cut, one long line. But I like the way that I can use it in a different way. So Art From goes first. Make sure that is straight. Gentle tapping. Art From, and that's around about there. And up, and then the heart is next, and that's going underneath. You could in fact put these into a stamp press both together. Art From the Heart, and I want the heart to come over just a smidge under the word art. Yep, and then the tiny little red heart itself is going over the other side, and I'm using Versafine Clear Strawberry for that. I'm just going to pop that around about there. Lovely. Now, if the heart didn't come out too well, it'd be difficult to overstamp it, but I would have used a colouring pencil just to fill in the red that I'd missed, just in case you do. Just going to have a slurp, all right. Good. Now, next, what's next? Oh, colouring in the moss caps, I think. Right, before I do anything else, I want to get a Posca pen in yellow. Make sure that it is, this is a Posca paint pen, make sure it's flowing. And then I'm just going to fill in these. I'm going over the black as well, just to give it a bit more of a yellow feel to it. Oh, that's better. Make sure your ink is really flowing. Now I'm rushing this, take your time. But I'm mindful of how long this video is going to go on for. And will it upload okay? Now we are putting glossy accents over the top of this yellow, and that will zing them out even more. But obviously you can't do that until the yellow Posca paint has dried. Even when you can't see the image properly, just put in a triangle of yellow so that you bring it to the foreground. Because the black ink has swamped a lot of the image here, and the blue of the ink underneath as well is stopping the image being clearly seen. But this yellow paint is doing the job. And they're going, oi, I'm here. Ooh, can you see me? Yep, we can see you. I think that I've got them all. Oh, there's one more there. It's very difficult to see when you try and identify exactly how many caps there are against that dark background. Got it. I think I've got it. A bit more paint there. Like so, that's it. Oh, there's one more there that I've missed. Okay. Right. That paint doesn't need to be dried, thoroughly dried, but the longer you can leave it, the better, so that you can give it another coat if you have to. I haven't got time to do that with this video, so give it another coat if you need to. I'm just going to get now a Sharpie pen, and I'm going to come down this side. Use a ruler to do this. Do it at the beginning if you're worried, or leave it if you don't want to do it at all. But it does make the card stand out nicely without too much black. I hate seeing too much black. It just reminds me of funerals. Okay, so that's that. Now the card underneath, that's the next layer, will also need a layer of black as well. But not the base card. I didn't do the base card. I thought I was overdoing things there. Oh, it's got marks on it. Oh, I wonder if I can get that out with the rubber. Mind you, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to stick it down because it's something that you can do. You don't need me to show you that. But I want the whole thing to look good. So there's a bit of black there. Yeah, gone. That's good. Stray ink, I think, from my hands. Right, so back to the original card. Yeah. And now with glossy accents, I'm just going to pop those on. Get it flowing. Might need a pin. I usually do. Yeah. And then all over the moss cap. Find its own level. It's great, this glossy accents, isn't it? No air bubbles though. Be careful you don't get any air bubbles in it. And once this dries, it will take, well, I've found sometimes it can take anything up to an hour, if not a bit longer, for this to dry. Depending how thick it is, obviously, especially on this top one now. So, but when it's dry, it makes the yellow look even more yellow. Right, the final thing to do is to take a pencil, and I'm using a black pencil, and this is Polychromos, and my T-square, and popping that underneath the bottom of the, mind you don't touch the caps themselves. I'm just putting in very lightly a line so that I can ground the bottom of those mushrooms or toadstools. Like so. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I've got to do any more. So let's move this out of the way and have a look. So this is the original card, okay? And I think that I'm pretty much done here. So the topper, you'll stick the base card at the topper, sorry, to the first layer. I'm not going to do that because you know what you're doing. All right, like so. And then taking another A3 sheet of cardstock, folded it and cut it to that 20 by 20 centimetres, and then stick both layers to your base card. And that, when it's dry, that glossy accents, when it's dry, that will be more yellow, I promise you. Okay, well, I thoroughly enjoyed making this. I'm going to run the video back and make sure, oh, I've forgotten one thing. Oh, dearie me. Can't do that. And that is some white enamel accents. Got to have some of those. And I've laid them down somewhere and I don't know where I've put them. There they are, white enamelled accents, just to bring out, taking a pin again, just to undo those, a piece of scrap paper to get the flow going, yeah, and then 1, 2, 3. And one of them's got an air bubble in. So get the pin again and just ping that out. Yeah, go on, go. And then just round it. Oh, it is going into place now. It's finding its own level. Thank goodness for that. So that just highlights. It's still not doing it, and that's annoying me. So I'm just going to put some more on. Oh, that is a nice big whatever blob. It looks okay. Yeah, I had fun. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and when these corners are stuck down it'll look better. Right, thanks very much for being with me. I'll be back later because I'm doing some more videos today. Bye for now. Take care all.